Has there been an uptick in large magnitude earthquakes this year, given all the news seemingly about such? Nope, there hasn't been an uptick, and I say this as a geologist, but there is a scientific reason why it might seem this way. As what there has been an uptick in this year are the number and percent of large magnitude earthquakes striking in close proximity to major cities. For this point, I am personally defining large magnitude as magnitude 6.7 or greater, and with an epicenter within 100 kilometers or 62.1 miles of a city that has a population of greater than 100,000. If such large earthquakes do end up causing significant damage within such a major city, it is often more psychologically impactful and anxiety-inducing seeing damaged large apartments, high-rises, and skyscrapers than say a damaged single-story home that might have been damaged if the earthquake in question instead hypothetically struck a more rural area. Now, not all large earthquakes near a major city will produce the level of damage I just described due to factors such as depth, soil type, and the strength of local building codes to resist earthquake damage, but I regardless assume you get my point here. To further prove my point, so far in 2026, a total of 18 magnitude 6.7 or larger earthquakes have struck, but of those, 15 have struck close to major cities. If we go by the first metric and extrapolate out the same rate of earthquakes for the rest of 2026, since the year is about 2/3 through when this video was made, the number of magnitude 6.7 or greater earthquakes would actually rank 17 out of the 27 years since the 21st century began, below the median figure of 29. In contrast, if we go off of the number of major earthquakes this year which have struck near major cities and compare it to other years in the 21st century, it ranks 5th. But if we extrapolate the same rate of earthquakes near major cities for the remainder of 2026, an unlikely possibility by the way as that is not how earthquakes work, the year of 2026 would rank 1st overall in the 21st century. Regardless, so far in 2026, all but 3 magnitude 6.7 or greater earthquakes have struck in close proximity to a major city, an unprecedented instance in the 21st century. The year in second place, 2002, only had this occur with 60% of its large earthquakes, but so far in 2026, this has occurred with 83.3% of its large earthquakes. Now, all of this is due to random chance. Sometimes statistics just play out that way, much like flipping a coin 5 times in a row and getting heads each time. Unlikely, but still reasonably possible. Of course, the metrics I just gave are not perfect and are somewhat flawed. Of particular note is the fact that the world population has increased from 6.1 billion in 2000 to 8.3 billion in 2026, so in theory, there are now more cities with populations greater than 100,000 people. In contrast, the population of Japan has actually shrunk since 2000. Now, let's go off the number of fatalities earthquakes have so far caused in 2026 without and with extrapolating the same rate of fatalities for the rest of the year. By that metric, 2026 will rank 6th and 3rd respectively, assuming that all of those missing from the Venezuelan earthquakes were indeed fatalities. So yes, due to those twin earthquakes, it has been an above average bad year for fatalities from earthquakes, albeit due to one particular earthquake sequence. However, at the same time, increased public knowledge of earthquake hazards has actually reduced fatalities in some recent large magnitude earthquakes, such as due to the earthquake near Flores, Indonesia. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons on Patreon and channel members on YouTube for supporting my work.